I think we're good. I'll see what it says second-wise. Looks like it has started, so you can start whenever you want. Thanks again for being here.
Good. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'll look at the minutes from February 5th. Any changes or additions? Nope. She can't talk. Motion to accept? Motion to accept. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for our visitors tonight, our honorable mayor and the media. Thank you for being here tonight. Al, oral and written communication.
Yeah, we've got some stuff that I'm gonna add that I didn't have at the time of this ready, but we'll start in, we'll just start with unfinished business. Basically, the chapel is continued. Actually, it's my bad, Jeff and Scott Bruce and I were gonna meet tomorrow. I have a personal thing that's happening that I gotta take care of tomorrow, so I had to cancel. I didn't wanna be in the middle of it and not make it. So we're gonna reschedule that in a few weeks. When he sent me in the calendar of Jeff's, because he's pretty busy, which you know that, but I gotta find a spot to get in to see him. So we'll take care of that. That's still on the agenda. Yeah, still like to go, but it gives me a little more time to write some more stuff down. I'm trying to get an idea, because I'm sure Scott will have some questions. Number 2, I think, is messed up just a little bit. I think that goes with number 5. To go with the Parson Farm, so I'm gonna kind of put those together. I have the Parson Farm pinned out as far as north, south, east, west. Joe Better, the street superintendent, has been out. We've looked at it. He's trying to get me some numbers of how much of that I can develop. I have it all drawn in AutoCAD. I know what I want. I told him what I need and then see how much we can go. And as soon as he gives me a price, and we're going to be at it. Joe being new and getting into his position, he kind of said, "Hal," he goes, "how quick?" And I said, no, this is on your time. He goes, "Well, I might have to do 2 weeks and pull off." I said, "That's fine. We're not out of lots." So I said, so he may come and go, and we'll just keep the properties clean and as much as best we can as he's working on it. It's, like I say, it's his first year being full tilt at the street department, and they got a lot of projects going on. So I'm willing to wait, and he's gonna save us money, so. Yes, the cost of the road. Yeah, like I say, the whole idea is first is to get the road off. Now, so you understand, to save money, Joe, one reason Joe came to me is because of the tailings, the asphalt tailings they take off. The the fairgrounds has asked for some, which he has taken, I assume to do their roads or whatnot. But he wants to make sure we have enough. And what we're doing is, to save money, you usually go, depending on the soil, 12 to 15 inches of compaction gravel under the road before you pour the asphalt. That's what I've done since I've been there. The other roads, no, they're not that way, but the runs I've done. The last road we did was under Beeler, and he said, "Let's use tailings," which totally makes sense. Now, they were big chunks, so we brought a guy out, I think Pearson, I keep saying that, I need to look that up, that had a crusher. We did it right here on the police department property, and we crushed that tailing. They could sort metal out, everything down to size, and the reason we had to do that is for them to run it with their paver, so we could put it in even, not add big chunks and let them through the pavers. So we're starting to stockpile. So, and the park capital, there's a bunch back there, but the park is gonna be adding on to the campground, and I think he was gonna do the same thing. So he's working on getting the tailings, so with them doing that, basically their crew will come out, work with my crew on getting the roads dug out, put in, and then of course they'll bring the asphalt crew out. So what's really nice for this city when we all work together is I'm not paying labor, I'm paying material, is what it amounts to. And it saves us a bunch of money, is what it does. So depending on asphalt prices or what we need to have them done, it's just the labor that it really helps. But we try to help them out as much as we can. We just kind of share back and forth. So that's pretty much there. So we will not get the whole Parson in paved in road. So we're gonna do it in sections as we can do it. I have right around 75,000 allocated for it. I've got another 25 in perm that I could use. So we're just kind of seeing where that's going to land on that. Anyway, any questions on that? Okay, 3 is the wood giveaway. I'm sorry, she doesn't have the total, we're still giving wood away. I think, Howie, we give another 2 away today, what is? Yeah, another 2 loads today. Still have plenty of wood, street is split a bunch over there at their place too, if we need some, so we have good supply of that. So we'll go on for at least another month or so here, depending how cold we get, you know. If it warms up, then we will stop. 6, excuse me, I don't want to go too fast here. We did a new furnace in the office, had a part go out of it. The guy came and looked at it from Alliance, thought it was okay. We went and was watching through the window and the one burner was starting to act up. He said it's gonna go, he didn't know when, can't tell. So I had him put a new one in. That was just a little over $9,000 for the new furnace. But doing it also, I put in another run into the secretary's office area because it was a little cold. So they've got that done, it's looking fine. I think we can talk 7 there. I put a break room in the garage that's attached to the office for Leanne. Not so much for Leanne, but it's for Leanne. She has given us a notice that her last month will be July. She's going to retire. With that, she's one that goes home for lunch, stuff like that, but with the law and the breaks and stuff, I didn't have a break room and not knowing who I'm getting, they may want to take their lunch there, so I wanted to provide a place. And we were cleaning up the double garage, so had a little money into it, most of it I did, so that's what that's all about. So now there's a break room that can be utilized in the office.
How long has she been?
Oh my, I think she's on her 17th year?
Yeah, she's getting close to, we just recognized her, I think it might be, 15 or 20, she's
Yeah.
long time.
Because I'm going on 19 and she's like 2 behind me. I
She
think.
told me longer than Mom.
Yes.
longer than-
Now
that's
16,
incredible.
I think she's 17.
That's
I think Diane
incredible.
is 16, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 17 years. She's been kicking this around quite a while. I mean, she knows what she's doing. What is very, I'm just gonna speak about her a little bit while we're talking about it. She is willing to train. So we're looking at she knows into July, so I talked to Denny, we'll try to get somebody first, second week of July, so she has time to train and do stuff, which is really cool. I mean, there's a lot that we do, it's just not standard stuff that we do. You learn as you go type thing, and then we're dealing with people and how we deal with people and different things. And she has done a book on her job, so that'll help with the nuts and bolts, but then she can just work how to get into it, all the spots that has to be done, what it is to sell a lot, all that paperwork, and then once they get buried, all that paperwork and all the good stuff. It's a lot she does. I mean, she just does it because she knows how to do it, but to teach somebody, it's nice to, well, let's put it that you're more fortunate she's teaching her instead of me. I can do it, but she'll know all the ins and outs, so it's very nice that she's willing to do that. Any questions so far?
Just only on number 4.
Oh, I went right by it, thank you. Howie, you want to talk about that, clean up the east fence?
Sure, we had a east fence, we haven't cleaned the growth off of that fence for many of years. And so we actually cleaned all the growth off of it. We're, depending on what area we was in, anywhere from 5 to 10 feet away from the fence. And got it to where we can actually drive a truck up and down there to keep it cleaned out. And there was a lot of trees growing up in there, a lot of vines. We cut the trees down, pulled the vines, got everything off the fence. It looks really nice now. There's some touching up to do, of course, but we're in the process of that.
I really wasn't out there the other day checking on you guys doing that, but it looks, I think they were kind of looking at it and wondering, what are you doing? It wasn't really, it really was, but it looks great. It looks great. So, yeah.
For the rest of you to know that the other east side of the fence would be the north side, I would say. The gentleman that put in the housing development donated that 14 acres to the city. So the city owns that part of it, which would be for expansion, hopefully for the cemetery. That's what we want it for, but who knows? But we did creep on his side a little bit. When he put that unit in, he put a dirt mound to kind of hide that from us or to make that break. And we did go on his property at the lower area and took some trees out, just to clean up the fence around it. Every year it just grows through that fence and hangs over, and it it's such a mess. And then we have a low area also towards the shop. It kind of gets up water and comes in onto us, so we're gonna start filling that to kind of purge the water back east a little bit if we can.
That looks great, you guys did a great job.
The only thing is you don't wanna turn Howie loose in an E60 with a thumb on it. It's like you just go, I'm gonna walk away. Yeah, I don't wanna be there. Yeah, and he's like, how we gotta fix some of the top of the fence. I said, but yeah, you chainsaw that tree? No, I'll take care of it. So yeah, he's had some fun on it. The guys have worked very hard on it. It was a good winter project, it really was, and I do thank him for that. That was kind of his thing. So yeah, it's gonna be, it just looks nicer. I think it's so good to be. With that, if you come up south behind Siemens, that was a lower area, still is in an area. In the heavy rains, it was where the lower area is on the left, that would be the north side, it was starting to approach on the grass. And so we put, I hate to say how many loads, tons of loads, and we're filling that up enough just to keep that water in that swamp area so it doesn't start, coming this way. So we can develop that land eventually down the road. So that's kind of a multi-project we're doing there. Cleaning it up. So I guess that's all whole business. Thank you for catching that. I'm sorry, I moved right by it. New business, the 2026 John Deere Gator has arrived. It is in there. We're going to pick it up Monday. We're trading in 2018. This Gator is a little more like a mini truck. We purchased one last year. It's bigger. It just does more stuff for us than the other one, would you say? Yeah, and it's a year-round vehicle. I mean, my guys, when I first started, they had the TXs and they were open. They were driving them in the winter. And this is nicer, isn't it, boss, that they're eating air, eating stuff inside as they go out. The bed's bigger, it's just a nicer vehicle. So, we had that in our budget to do, so it is ready to pick up. A new project we're looking at that I've written down, and I've got some others we'll talk about. Ever since I started there, the Lake Road, okay, that goes back, of course, to the campground and all that stuff. I've always wanted to put a walkway. Well, kind of hit a snag. We haven't really done much to it. Can't really know. I knew once we did it or got it drawn correctly, it would be several $1,000. I was back the other day kind of looking, and I called Sean at the park, and they have split rail fence all around their park, okay, area. And so I'm not really worried about keeping people out, because I have openings, both places with cars, that we're gonna look if I have enough money in my budget to start taking that fence down and putting split rail all the way. And I think we can move it back a little bit, is what I'm hoping, and maybe gravel off the road a little bit, and so the people are a little safer coming around those corners. So we don't have to go to the big expenses, a 6-foot walkway and all that, but I think if I just put split rail, it'll be a little bit more open. To clean, these guys are excited. I mean, to clean that fence is just absolutely terrible. So, it's not one I've had scheduled, it all depends on permit, and if not, we may just do it in sections, but I think it would just make that look so much nicer back there as people are using that park and, the beach area and all that stuff. So, if we start, we will start from our back gate and go all around the area. So I think that'll be a cool idea. 3, as you see there, we take care of the police department. We mow, we do all that stuff, and snow removal. With this stuff we're working on is to, I wouldn't say unify, but work together more as Jeff has to deal with all the cuts coming up, and along with us or whatever, how we can work more efficient together and share. Dustin actually started this. It was looking into the police department and what they were spending on landscaping. And Dustin called me and he said, I'm gonna ask you a weird question. I said, shoot. He said, why aren't you doing the landscaping at the police department? I said, because they didn't ask me to. They were hiring it done, and we're just, doing all the other stuff. He brought me what they were doing, and stuff, and I said, we can do this. When he started, Chief Whitaker said it was about $1,200. They're up to about $7,000 a year in landscaping and fertilizer. So we are taking that over. I'm guessing, I'm gonna go high. We probably can do it for less than 1,000 to do what we have to do. I mean, that's not including labor, of course. Once we get working together, we save labor. That's what it's all about. So I just wanted to throw that out, you, we're picking up a little bit more here, and we have no problem doing that and helping out. With that, I have a few more, stuff that's going on. I don't know if you know about the new leadership, program that we're doing, the department heads went through the first part with Scott Green. We're going down and doing more, they just started today. Yes, I have Howie over here, sorry, we call him Howie, his name's Howard. And then Jeff Helfers is also doing it at this, on this leadership class. So I encourage them, the other guys, I think will do it once they get done and can talk about it. I think this is one of the best leadership classes that they've had, and the ones I've done. I think Scott does a wonderful job, and I know Jeff didn't have a problem when he got his thing back about how he leads, like I did, I'll just be personal with me, I'm looking at this going, this isn't me, no, I hand it to my wife, and she goes, yeah. So I had to kind of bite the bullet a little bit, so I think we all had a little stress on that, but you know what it does is it teaches you how you lead, how you perform in the lead. It doesn't mean it's wrong, none of it means it's wrong, and everybody's different, and you're just a little nervous when you go in there, but when he explains that to you, but it's how you cope and how you rejuvenate and how you get along with stuff, and it's a really good leadership thing, I really enjoy it, so I just want to bring that up, that's going on. Next thing is Mike Bradford is starting Monday at Oakwood as far as putting more wall work. We're going to do back at the shop. I don't know if you know, I planted pine trees a long time ago, kind of to block the shop off. We put stuff in there. We're not trying to keep it clean. It just doesn't look good. So he's going to put a wall around that, and then we're going to use this river rock stone that we have that we got from the guy that brought it, and we just clean that up. Howie had a great idea to lift those pines up a little bit. So we did about a foot, didn't we? He lifted them up a foot. It looks so much better even now. And you won't believe the leaves that came out of there. I bet they took over a dump truck of leaves out there that we had cleaned up. But it'll just make it more presentable down there. I love his idea. It's going along really good with that. Talked about Joe already. It's getting the price done, so I wanted you to know that. East Fence we talked about. The last is Kimball and Associates. I called yesterday and wanted to know how they were doing on the Tom Kinch property. Remember the replotting that? Yeah. The lady goes, well, I need to look at something to talk. They have another, must be intern or another gal working in there. They asked me to come out with it. They're having a little problem with some pins. So you got some 18, whatever, pin, 19, 20 pins, whatever. Things aren't lining up real good. And so they wanted to know how to take care of that. And I said, favor on the homeowners are there. And then they're trying to clean that all up, and they should have it done here shortly. So we can kind of move forward with that. Once they, when they get that part done, and we get that taken care of, and depending on funds and what we have to do, I want them to go into the cemetery and replot it. And the reason for it is if you would get on Beacon and look, it's all cut up. So this was purchased all the way through. And some is under the City of Warsaw, some is under Oakwood Cemetery, Board of Regents, it's under different stuff. So when it comes tax time, they want to tax us under taxes for everything that isn't, say, City of Warsaw. Now, county's really good, we don't have to pay it. Nancy up there in Lady County takes care of all that. But while I'm at it, I want to clean it up so there's no confusion later on. It just says Warsaw and we're done. So he said it'd be very easy to do, and he's going to give me a price on how to do that. I'll talk to Larry as far as the campground to see what he wants me to do there. It's under the City of Warsaw. It's actually all under Oakwood. So the campground and the beach is under us. So when Larry does something there, I have to sign off on it. And I'm okay with that. He knows that. But I don't know if we want to change that, but I'll figure that out once we get to that. So it's just a little cleaning up that in the road right there. So the street superintendent can use that for if they get grants and stuff, for that easements and all that stuff. So it's coming anyway. So next step with that will be, I will go to Tom and we will talk and make sure he's okay with what I have left him. And then we will proceed to go, if Tom wants to proceed, then we will go into getting estimates on how much it will cost. And then we'll move on from there and see what we want to do. Oakwood Cemetery. It'll both be in there.
But it wouldn't be like it is now with different.
Correct, because now is one will say, yes,
Right.
Oakwood Board of Regents, well,
Yes.
state doesn't know what that is, follow me?
Yeah.
That it's tax exempt, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I've dealt with it since I've started, and it's all good, because everybody that's in those positions understand that, but someday they're not gonna be in those, you know what I mean? And if I get it cleaned up, and then there's less headache. When the, yeah, and the land that was donated to us, for now, currently doesn't have Oakwood's name on it, but it has City of Warsaw, you know, until we all decide what we wanna do. I mean, it's landlocked, so I'm guessing they'll allow the cemetery to grow, but that's up to the mayor or whatever, how far they wanna go. You know, if they wanna keep going back there, or if they wanna use it for something else, or, but that's what, it's just so it's all under Warsaw, we don't have to worry about the tax end of it. The last thing I have, this year, we're going to do a garden again. Last year, we gave Salvation Army, I think it was 110, 120 pounds of food. This year, Montana has asked to be part of it for wellness. She wants to use some wellness dollars, which that's fine to help buy plants. But they're doing some nutrition, things about how to cook with different stuff. We're still gonna give the Salvation Army. We're gonna leave it, Howie said we have to leave it the same size. I'm gonna leave it, so, but where they wanted, she wanted to know if they could take a few to make stuff, and I'm like, that's fine, as long as we're still giving it the Salvation Army. So the whole idea is for them to use it for wellness. Also, part of the deal is like, you know, if you're having a tough day or whatever, you wanna come out on your break or your lunch and weed eat and stuff to get you calm down, you can do it. So we're opening it more up to the city employees if they wanna come out and do it, that kind of stuff. I'm not a gardener. Howard got into it big time, and Jeff, the two. The other guys are like, nah, we can do this, but when Howie goes, this is great, and they all jumped on, so they're all weed whacking and doing it. So we have most of the stuff. I did purchase an electric fence. We were having trouble keeping critters out, so we're getting, I guess, more versed on how to do this. We had a gentleman trapping last year for us. We tried that. I think it's a good thing for the community, get some food back, and if Montana can use it for the wellness part of it, that's good. We can expand if we want to later on, but right now, we're just gonna stay the same. But I just want to let you know that. As far as that, I think if you looked at the money as far as what's going on, we talked about ashes. If you look what's going on right now, full body is taking over again, so who knows what's going on. What's gonna happen? I was looking at that today, and it's kind of amazing. Because if you look at February, it was 72%. So, I'm not gonna lie, ashes are changing the way we do things. It's a little different. I mean, in the whole thing, for every, we get them, sometimes the paper will say they're coming, and we may never see them. And sometimes we may not see them for years. So I just want you to know, as you're looking at that stuff and the numbers, I mean, we're on about the same pace. I think December was kind of a slow month, I believe, last year, and it's kind of picked up a little bit. But other than that, I think we are good, sir. Anything from you, Howie?
No.
I didn't have you jump in there. Last thing is, I want to get Howard more involved, but I mean, he's doing a wonderful job for me right now. In fact, he's driving me nuts because he won't let me help. That's okay, but that's all right, that's okay. But I am done, sir, other than that, unless there's any questions for me.
No, the only other thing I had is, they're planning on placing the flags May 16th, for Memorial Day. That's the general plan right now. I keep telling them to set a time now, like, so we can let people know, but that's on Saturday, May 16th.
Who's playing on Saturday?
The American Legion's taking the lead on it, but he'll have the entire football out there, and he sent another group too, but I told him it would be a good idea just to let the public know, because there would be people I think that would show up. If you set a time and.
To help? Yeah, if they would need help, I would say, yeah, that's a big thing.
I'll talk to him about it, and I'll try to make sure we have the time of when they're actually gonna try to get started too on the 16th.
Okay.
And then Memorial Day obviously is the 25th, and that would be at.
I would-
Be at 11.
Yeah, I would suggest too that the Legion comes up with the day they're gonna take it off and
And
publicize it.
That has not been discussed.
Yeah, because that's where they don't get help. We don't mind helping, but there's been a couple years where we've done it pretty much.
I'll talk to them about that and make sure, we've got that too, but we've been trying to get, we probably have just announced both days. So we need pickup crew too on.
Yeah. Now, worst comes to worst, we don't mind doing it. I mean,
No, but-
we'll do it, but if,
But we need to try to get some volunteers out there.
I would love to see the community get involved, especially with the Legion guys. And I know a lot of them are older, but if they could just come out, I don't care if they just drove around, you know what I mean, be part of it. That's part of why we're doing this.
Yeah.
This is their thing, so. But I get, being older, I'm getting there, you know, so I kind of get that if you can't make it out. I know they can't do it, and they need to understand that, but if they just come out and visit with these people that are helping, I think it'd be cool.
And the only other thing is I've been doing some, research,
I'm so sorry.
and I wasn't doing research on this, but I was doing research for something else, but this, cemetery board was established in 1933. It was by state statute in 1933, and established in 1934.
Hey,
So I
how are you,
was-
Eric? What's going on? What's life?
I think
Yeah.
the only person who was there was Jerry may have been there.
Jerry was
that
there.
meeting, you know?
Yeah,
So-
he got off on one of the three ships.
I just thought that was-
Into the center.
I just thought that was rather.
I'm on a date, but. How are you? Fine, good to see you.
No, I would put that in.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be good to have it in those, in the history.
Thank you.
Anything else we need to cover then? So, all right.
It's okay, I thank you for showing at the end, it's okay, you got your papers.
We got a quorum in, so.
Mayor's got a can made.
Rick Keevan Jr. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Rick said this.
Yeah, Rick did the same thing. Don't worry about
Now,
it.
so you gotta know, since we're still here, it's okay, he's my neighbor, I'll catch him up.
Yeah, we're good. It's good you're here.
All right. No other further business then? Okay, all